Hello YouTubers. Hey, welcome back to the Virginia Bushcrafter, the channel where we continue to learn and practice all of the wonderful great skills of bushcrafting, prepping, and survival for the wilderness. So welcome everyone. If this is your first time here, welcome as well. And how's everyone doing? I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. So guys, I've been asked, how much gear do you take with you? How much does it weigh? Do you need all of that gear? Could you go with less gear? I think I can answer positive to all of those questions, because when I come out with gear, I honestly bring more gear than what's necessary, because when I'm out in the bush, I want to take the opportunity to practice with everything that I can in the amount of time that I have. So what I want to go over today, guys, is my Bushcraft Gear and Loadout. Now, what I have with me today is what I am anticipating on using this next weekend. So I'm going to talk about the gear, tell you the use of the gear, and we always try to get at least 3 uses out of every piece of gear. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to get this gear together and we're going to talk about it. All right, guys, I'm going to talk about the gear and the loadout in no particular order. I'm going to start with the outside and we're going to work our way inside. So the very first thing that I have is a foam bedroll. Now I choose a foam bedroll because number one, it will help prevent conduction. In the wintertime, the ground will just suck heat right out of you. So if you have something that is at least 4 inches when compacted, that will most definitely help prevent conduction. So this is about, I'm 6 feet, it's longer than I am. This one is not as thick as the others that I have because it's summertime. In the wintertime, I use some that are thicker, or sometimes I will use more than one. But it's very portable. It's easy to carry. I just have it on the bottom of my rucksack and it's never in the way. So I just remove the straps and just unfold it. And here you see, this is very much ample for what I need. Now, you can also use this just to sit on. You can fold it twice, maybe 3 times, and use it as a sitting pad. But inside of that, I also carry a thermal seat. Now, this seat is fantastic during the winter time. If I'm sitting on a log, I can just sit on top of this, put this on the log, and sit on top of the log. I also can use this as a pillow. At night, I can just roll this up and have it as a pillow. So as you can see, the foam bedroll and the thermal seat have many uses. So let's go on. Another thing that I really like about this, if I did not mention, is that I don't have to worry about anything that is going to deflate. As where if you have a bivvy or something that you're going to blow up, or sleeping bag that you have to inflate, I don't have to worry about that with this. So the foam bedroll and the thermal set are something that have multiple uses. Okay, so now let's go to the side. Okay, let's take out, here is a shovel with a very nice sheath. This is made by Cold Steel. This shovel has multiple purposes. Its main purpose is to dig. We all know the shovel, we're going to dig with it. But this shovel is capable, very much capable of chopping, breaking fibers, very capable of splitting, going along with the grain of the wood. And it can be used as a defensive tool. So, multiple purpose. It digs, it chops, it splits, and it can be used for a defensive tool. You can even sharpen the edges, which I've done before. Another good thing is that this is hickory wood, the handle. If it breaks in the bush, there are 2 screws that you can just find another piece of hardwood or green wood, insert it, screw it in, the screws back, and you're in business. So again, multiple purposes. Okay, so that's the shovel. And then it goes back into its sheath. Also, you can carry this on your belt, on your rucksack shoulder, because it has a belt loop here. Okay, so we're going to put that over there. Let's go to the other side of the rucksack. Let's see what's in here. Okay, something of the utmost importance. Container. Now, when I come into the bush, especially in the summertime, I always bring at least 64 ounces of water, because we know we can only go as far as our water supply. Now, here's a canteen, a single wall canteen that I can put in the fire. I can take the top off, and since the top is off and it's hot, it's really hot, God. I can remove the top, put this in the fire, and boil water to purify it. This also comes with a nesting cup that I can cook in, as well as boil water, and it comes with a top. For your coffee, oatmeal, boil your corn, anything. A nesting cup. Single wall container. I also have a Nalgene bottle that has, it says 32 ounces, but it goes beyond that. This is good for when you want to cook something and you want to put the correct amount of water in it. Here it has the measurements on the side. So 32 ounces here, 32 ounces here. Now again, this is what I'm going to use this coming weekend, but there are also 40 ounce clean canteen. There's a grill that you can collect water, you can filter the water, and purify the water as well. So far, that's on the outside of my rucksack. Something else that's on the outside of my rucksack is a bandana. I always carry an orange bandana. I always carry a green bandana. The green bandana is in the event that I had to go stealth, which I've never had to. I hope never to have to. But this bandana, or these bandanas, have many uses. They can be used for first aid. They can be used for cleaning your dishes. They can be used for wiping sweat. They can be used for tinder. They can be used for char cloth. There are a number of things these can be used for because they are cotton. So that's one of the things you always want to take with you, something that is cotton that you can also use again as a fire starter. Even if you didn't have a ferrocerium rod, flint and steel, if you just had a lighter or matches, you can tear a piece off, light it, and use it as tinder. Again, I use this. You can also use this as a marker or a waypoint. You can walk away from your base camp. As long as you can see this, you know where your base camp is. So that's something else I always take into the bush with me, no matter what. Let's see. Okay, now this rucksack has a pouch at the top. So the first thing that's in here is a poncho. Now, many uses of a poncho. First of all, it's a raincoat. You can definitely use it as a raincoat. It also will help retain heat in the winter time. Something that's very, very good is that you can make a shelter with this. So it is a 5x7. It has 4 grommets, and of course you're always going to have your tent pegs. But also what I carry in here in addition is 2 emergency blankets. 2 Mylar emergency blankets. Why 2? 1 is none, 2 is 1. But the Mylar blankets can be used when it's cold just to wrap around you if necessary. And you can put a little candle in between your legs. Or you can actually use these to make a super shelter. Or you can make an A-frame shelter. These 5x7 Mylar emergency space blankets are worth their value. So I would suggest just get some. Again, they have many uses, and I keep them in the pouch with my poncho. Next, in the top, I have, now this is part of a first aid kit. This first aid kit is only for anything that I have to ingest. For example, in here I have ibuprofen, Tylenol, aspirin, a pair of rubber gloves, and so forth. Anything that I have to ingest stays in this pouch. But also in here, I keep a pocket mask from the American Red Cross. Now, there are new methods, but I know this has been proven. I have used this, I'm going to say at least twice as a lifeguard. So I'm going to stick to what I know works. Also, I have in here, I have just some bandage. Now, it's dirty on the outside, but it's clean here. So this is just part of my first aid kit. Again, here's another pack of Tylenol. So this stays together. Also in the top is a buck net. Now, this has many uses. Of course, you can put it on your head, keep the bugs away, but you also can carry things. You can go and pick up tinder. You can pick up tinder and use your bug net. So it has multiple uses. You can, if necessary, you can use this just around your arm as a bandage, if necessary. Even tinder if necessary. So it has many uses. Here is toiletry, and we don't have to explain that. So let's see, what else do I have? As you can see, this pad comes in handy because I'm putting my knee on here, so I don't have to put it on the hard ground. I think that's it for the outside. So let's take a look at the inside. Hey guys, there's one thing that's very important that I did mention that stays on the outside of my rucksack, and I would be very remiss not to show that to you. I mentioned that I have a first aid kit for anything or any reason that I need to ingest a pill or something of that nature. But I keep a first aid kit on my shoulder sling. I keep it here because it's very visible. If anyone is with me, they will always know where this first aid kit is. This first aid kit is for anything that is external. Cuts, stings, burns, anything of that nature. There are gauze, there's tape, gloves, alcohol pads, band-aids, foot mold, anything external is in this first aid kit, and this kit stays on my shoulder strap. So let's put that over here. Now we're going to get to the inside. Inside of this rucksack start out with something, one of my favorite things, cutting tools. Now, I have my cutting tools in this carrying case. So, starting out on the outside of this carrying case is I'm going to use this next time I go out, is a Swiss Tech stalling knife. Now, as you can see, this knife is here, right here. It is a full chain, and of course, there is a lanyard on almost every single thing every cutting tool that I have to help me with that firm grip. So this comes with a sheath. Now when I get to my location, this is going to be my belt knife. It comes with a ferrocerium rod. So have a ferrocerium rod. I can cant it for comfortability. So this is a cutting tool, a fixed blade knife. I think it's about 4 inches. It is a saber grind, drop point, micarta handles. So I can carve with this by making feather sticks. I can do shavings. I can make fat wood sawdust. I have combustion. So, a multi-purpose tool with a nice Kydex sheath. Also, as a cutting tool that I'm taking with me this weekend is I am taking a Kershaw Camp 10. Why am I taking this? I'm taking this because it has a 10-inch blade. I've used it many times. It's very strong. It's 1095 carbon steel. With this knife, because it's 10 inches, the blade is 10 inches, I can actually chop. I can separate fibers. I can split. I can actually baton with this in splitting. I can dig with this. I can even hammer wooden tent pegs into the ground by using the large belly portion. It has a fantastic grip. It has a pommel on it. It's not metal, but it does have a pommel. So they're numbered things. It has a 90-degree spine on the back that I can strike a ferrocerium rod with. And of course, the comfort of a lanyard. And it comes with a Kydex sheet. This Kydex sheet can be attached to my belt, to my rucksack, and just about any place that I choose, I can attach this. And I also have paracord. There's about 10 or 12 feet of paracord on here. Paracord can be used in many instances other than just making knots. I can use it to start a fire. I can use it as fishing line. I can take the inner strands out and use them tie them together for a ridge line and so forth. So many uses for this Kershaw Camp 10 and this nice Kydex sheath. Now, also with my cutting tool, I am also going to use an axe. Let me just take this out. This axe it's a marvelous axe, and again, main purpose of this axe is that I can chop, and I can chop well with this axe. I can split well with this axe. I can carve well with this axe. I can hammer wooden tent pegs if necessary. Also a defensive weapon if necessary. So again, it has multiple uses. The main use again is chopping, splitting, again carving. I have a 90-degree spine on it, ferrocerium rod. I can start a fire. I can throw sparks with it. So, and it comes with a leather sheath. So that's the other cutting tool. Now I also carry a saw. Now you can carry any saw that you like, but this weekend I am anticipating cutting a lot of wood. Lot of dead standing trees are there. This saw is the Agawa Bow Rail 24 with a Sydney Wrench, I believe it's number 2, aggressive blade. This is for cutting a lot of wood. You can cut small wood, but the only drawback is you can only cut wood between the top and the blade. But you can split wood with this saw. For example, and I'm not going to do it on, you can saw something here, turn it over, saw halfway there, hit it against the ground, and it splits. So this saw not only can be used as a saw, as its main purpose, its intent, but you also can use it to saw the wood and then split it. This is very portable. Easy to just reassemble. Aluminum, very lightweight. And this is the case that I carry this in. This has mollies on it where I have carabiners. You never know when you're going to need a carabiner to attach something. So I have these just as extra. Will I need the carabiners? Maybe, maybe I won't. But if I want to practice, I'm going to have them. Let's see, what else do I have in here? I also just have another pouch. What's good about this pouch? It has mollies on it. I have a strap with paracord, extra paracord. In here, of course, it is mandatory for me to always have leather gloves. The last thing you want to do in the bush is injure your hands or your feet. By having the leather gloves, I'm less likely to injure or cut my hand. This also gives me a better grip on an axe, hatchet, or any cutting tool. So gloves, leather gloves, are mandatory for me in the bush. I also have trail marking tape. Am I ever going to use this in the bush? I have before to wander off, but I can always hang this every so often, and coming back, all I have to do is follow it. This is very good, especially when hunting. So I carry this all the time. I also carry in here I call it my candle, but it's my headlamp. The headlamp, it goes to bright, you can dim it, but it also has a red flashing and a blue flashing. So I always carry a headlamp in the bush. Now, what else can it be used for? It can be used for signaling, in addition to being able to assist you in seeing at night. I also carry extra batteries. You will not catch me in the bush without extra batteries for my headlamp. I also have my fire kit. This fire kit has, I'll just pour it out to show you everything. Of course, ferrocerium rod. I won't need it because there's one attached on the knife. And also the ferrocerium rod does have some measurements on the side. I think this is in meters, but it also has a can opener and it also has a scraper. So it does have more than one use. You can scrape fat wood and get fat wood dust. I also have matches, waterproof matches. I will use these if I'm going to light a candle to hang somewhere in the woods. I also carry an orange big lighter with Gorilla Tape around it, just as a backup. I also carry a bellow. When the fire needs to be grown, you can just blow air into the fire, and the fire you're just adding fuel to the fire. I also carry a small tin can of magnesium. Magnesium is one of the greatest fire starters there is. Magnesium burns very hot, but it burns very quickly. So you must have your tinder or your kindling ready. When you put this magnesium on your tinder is the flames are going to appear quickly. Have your kindling ready. I also carry this is just a roll of duct tape, Gorilla Tape. In addition to the Gorilla Tape that I keep with me. This is good to repair your tarp, your tent, clothing. You can even use it on as first aid. You can tie part of the bandana, the cotton portion, put it on a cut, and secure it with Gorilla Tape. So many uses. Also in here is, as an emergency, Vaseline, cotton balls with Vaseline. I will use these only when it's extremely wet or extremely cold, because it's just too easy to make a fire with cotton balls and Vaseline. So that's what's in this little pouch here again. Cotton ball and Vaseline, my headlamp that illuminates blue and red, additional AAA batteries. This is known as cargo, but it is Gorilla Tape. Gorilla Tape. A small bit of Gorilla Tape. A bellow. A ferrocerium rod. Waterproof matches. Orange Bic lighter with Gorilla Tape. Magnesium. And trail marker tape. All of this stays in this pouch. Also in this pouch, I also keep some other things. I keep a Wazoo burnable coupon. Let me just show this to you up front. Wazoo burnable coupon. You merely can just scrape this and get some tinder, but when you put your ferrocerium rod, when you throw that spark, this goes up quickly. So you must have your kindling ready, or I mean, you can scrape maybe a quarter's worth off, or you can light the whole thing with a lighter, but it's going to go up very quickly. I also carry, I'll just show this to you up close. This is fishing equipment, canvas needle, and there's a number 18 bank line in there. And I have more bank line here. Why the bank line? Because it can be used as a security perimeter device. So don't come snooping around my spot. Also, this is something that I purchased at a Georgia Bushcraft from Bushcraft Kevlar. It has one end to help remove knots, another end for piercing, making holes. I've used it before. It's great. So again, there's something to help remove knots, something to pierce if you want to pierce something and you don't want to use your knife, bank line that can be used as a security device, or it can be used as if you need to sew something on your clothing, because there's a lot of sewing material in here. Do I use this when I go out? Not often. Have I used it? Of course. Will I continue to take it with me? Of course. Because it's all about practicing and learning. Also, I have in this fire kit, I have something to sharpen my knives with. Ceramic rod and something to sharpen my blades. You can also sharpen fish hooks with this, as well as sharpen serrated edged knives. Do I use it all the time? No. Will I continue to take it with me? Yes. Have I used it before? Yes. In the field? Yes. Because it's all about practicing and learning. Now, one thing I just realized that I have not shown you that is very, very important that you have to have. That is shelter, a tarp. So that's usually in the bottom of my rucksack. And why the bottom? Because when I put my rucksack down, everything soft is at the bottom and it's not breakable. This is a 10 by 10 tarp. In the case, I also have paracord. I have a prepared ridge line with some paracords 10 feet, some's 20, some's 30. So I have the paracord with the tarp, along with 10, I guess 10 is the magic number, 10 tent pegs. If I need more than 10, I will make the tent pegs. But for my shelter, it's going to be a tarp, 10 by 10, 5 by 7, 9 by 12, whatever. It's going to be a tarp with the use of paracord and the tent peg. Now the tarp can be used for more than just cover. The tarp can be used as a wind blocker. The tarp can be used as a rain collector. The tarp can be used as you can dig a hole, put the tarp in the ground. You can actually use it for a bathing facility. So there are many uses of a tarp. The tarp can even be used as a, a gurney. If you have 2 people with you, 2 or 3 people, you can actually carry an injured person out on a tarp. So again, many uses of items that I carry with me, because it is all about practice, becoming proficient in what you're doing in the bush. Because when you're in the bush, distance away, no one is going to come to immediately help or rescue you. So you must be prepared. Now there's some other things I have on the outside. Also, let's see, this is a 105-liter rucksack. Do I use all the space? No. Have I used all the space before? Yes. But there are some external things that I want to share with you that I take into the bush that's not in or on the outside of my rucksack. All right, guys, let's talk about some gear that's not in my rucksack or outside of my rucksack. So let's start with something I think is just as important as gloves, is your footwear. Now, especially during the summer months, basically anytime other than winter time, when I go into the bush, I am going to be wearing snake boots. That's right, snake boots that come just below my knee. If I'm not wearing the snake boots, I'm going to be wearing gaiters. These gaiters cover up to my below my knee, and they have a foot pad. Now this set of gaiters was gifted to me from Chris, who his channel is Shade Tree Mechanic America. These were gifted to me by his wife Rebecca. So thank you very much. You will be seeing these in the bush. But as I said, I'm either wearing snake boots, and when I'm wearing boots that are near my ankle or just above my ankle, I will be using the gaiters. I've used gaiters before. They're great. It's about time I get a new pair. So again, thank you, Renee. Guys, go over there and check out Shade Tree Mechanic America. Good stuff. If you have any questions about your vehicle, go over there and check his channel out. So again, and always in the winter, I wear wool socks. With these, I'm wearing military socks. Let's see what else is. Oh, One of my favorite, knee pads. A friend of mine mentioned to me once, yes, we get older, we have to protect our knees. No, you don't have to wait until you get older to protect your knees. That's why they have knee pads. These are the most comfortable knee pads I've ever worn. Right now, I'm on the foam rubber foam row bed, but just by putting these on your knee, you can break sticks, wood, you can make kindling. The only thing is when you take them off and forget that you don't have them on, and you go down and start splitting woods, it reminds you don't have your knee pad. Guys, wear knee pads. They are beneficial. Something else I carry all the time on me is a multi-tool. Again, many purposes: pliers, wire cutters, a saw, screwdriver, bottle opener, screwdriver, another knife to cut bread and so forth, a file, pair of scissors, screwdriver, Phillips screwdriver, and a blade. Part of the cutting tool. This is on my belt. What else do I have in here? My pocket knife. My $10 gas station pocket knife that just won't break. I like this thing so much I bought 3 of them. I've been using this thing since 2015. And it has serrated edges. Serrated edges are great for making feather sticks. So it's great for slicing. It's great for carving. It's great for making feather sticks. It's great and inexpensive. So this is in my pocket when I'm in the bush. Let's see, I also carry a flashlight around my neck with a whistle. An orange whistle and a flashlight around my neck. Let's see what else is in here. As you may have seen on my videos, when I'm walking into the bush or exiting the bush, I have a specific pair of gloves. The orange gloves help me to be seen, but you never know when you're going to fall. You try not to fall. You try to prevent that. There's a method for that. I'm going to show you that as well. But orange gloves. But when I want to use a blade, I'm using leather gloves. What else do we have in this? Oh, here's something that's very, very important. Tourniquet. This tourniquet lives in my right cargo pocket. Muscle memory, I will always know where it is. In an emergency, a tourniquet stops the bleed. In my left pocket, I will always have a writing pad, a rain-proof writing pad. Why do I use this? Because it has on the very first page, it has my contact, emergency contact person. I always keep a page folded that gives me my directions in where I'm going and my directions coming out. For example, I already know where I'm going this week. I'm going in Northeast 50. I'm going to exit at Southwest 230. I will put the name of the location along with the date, the time I arrived. And this stays in my left cargo pocket. There's 2 pencils with it as well. Let's see what else is in here. a compass. You just can't go into the bush without a compass. That's like trying to walk out of your house and not take the keys. This compass serves as a signal. I can give signals with the mirror. I can look for things on my body. It has a magnifying glass that enhances the reading of a map. But basically, it's a compass. And the great thing about this compass, it will always tell you the direction you're going. It will not tell you where you are. That is the purpose of a map. But this compass will tell you where you are going. You just shoot an azimuth and follow your bearing. Can't do without a compass. You know the thing about this compass, I really don't know how I really did things without the compass. I was basically using another GPS system, which I still take with me for backup. It will always bring you back to your vehicle or wherever you want to, but it's a lot more fun being able to depend on something that does not require batteries. So I mean, I really, the more I use this compass, the more I love it. The best way to use this is with a map. But this is the Sun 2 compass, and it is great. It allows for declination, everything. So again, multi-purpose, signaling mirror, magnifying glasses, a rule on the side in inches and in yards. Again, provides your bearing. You just shoot an azimuth. You walk to that identification mark. You set your bearing before you walk away to meet your azimuth. And every so many yards, you shoot a back bearing to stay in a straight line. Guys, you got to try it. Got to use it. And as I mentioned before, this is a GPS system. 1 is none, 2 is 1. A great backup. I also carry, in addition to a telephone that also has a compass, I also carry a flip phone. Why? Because if this phone ever gets misplaced, I can call this, dial this number on this phone, hear the ring, and locate my phone. It has happened before. 1 is none, 2 is 1. And I always carry, before I go into the bush, some type of something to resist ticks, chiggers, and so forth. But this is off. I use this when I'm fishing, more so. But I always spray down with something. So guys, that's a lot of stuff right there, I must say. But you got to practice with it. I have one more item to show you that is more than just show. All right, guys, the last thing I'm going to show you as part of my gear that goes with me each and every time is a walking staff. Many purposes. Now, if I'm going uphill, I just place my arms, my forearm level. And as I walk, this is in front of me. As you push, it will thrust you forward, helping to remove weight that's on your back from your rucksack. Again, forearm level with the ground, grab it here. As I walk up, going uphill, I take my step, I push, and it thrusts. So it's just not. Now going downhill, I can put this in front of me to help assist my stability. This comes with a sheath as well. As you can see the sheath, I have paracord on it. Always additional paracord. This sheath comes off easily, but I usually don't take the sheath with me. It's with me, but it's in the car, or it's in my pocket until I get to my base camp. I'll put the sheath back on. If I'm there all night, the sheath does not go back on. So if you notice, this is double-edged, and it has 2 lugs, so that if you have to use this, your target would not go beyond these lugs. Again, it's more or less. Also, this is great for as when I'm walking into the bush, you can always use this to see if there are snakes or a hole or anything of that nature, just by going from side to side. It may slow your travel time down, but it's worth it. If you're ever somewhere on ice and the ice breaks and you have this, just grab this between the ice. You're going to be fairly safe. So this is a walking staff that I take with me each and every time. It has multiple purposes. I can even use it as structure to my tarp if necessary. All right, guys, let me just reassemble some things. I'll be back with you. All right, guys, so I've went over what I carry with me. Isn't it over the top? No. Is it not enough? No. Only you can be the judge of that. For me, it is all about practice and becoming proficient. I feel you can learn all the theory necessary, but until you put in the dirt time, it is not fulfilled or wholesome. So again, I just wanted to show you basically what I carry. That's what I'm carrying this coming weekend. It may even change. Some of the equipment may even change. But I think one of the things to practice again and remember, the 10 C's. You cover. It can be a tarp. It can be a tent. It can be a 9 by 12, 10 by 10, 5 by 7, 6 by 6, whatever. Your cover. You're going to need cordage to help construct that. 550 paracord, 1100 paracord, 36 bank line, 21 bank line, 18 bank line. You're going to need some cordage. And to construct that, you're going to need some, well, if you're going to do a debris shelter, just as a camp, you're going to need a cutting tool. It can be a single axe, a single hatchet, a single knife, a single saw, or a combination of. And remember, container. You're going to need that for your water because your body will only go as far as your water supply. You're going to need that canteen or that single wall container to help filter and purify your water. Boil, cook, you're going to need that. But to have that fire, you're going to need a combustion, which is a ferrocerium rod, flint and steel, plow point, bow drill, hand drill, matches, lighters. You're going to need those 5 items at a minimum. So if you just go through that list, you're going to find out what is beneficial to take. And then to top it off, the second 5 items, always take a compass with you. A compass doesn't run on batteries, but take a compass with you and take a headlamp, your candle, your headlamp for your head with extra batteries. So with that compass, that headlamp, and most of all, cotton. You want to take a bandana to help filter water, first aid, clean yourself, clean your dishes, fire starter, numerous things to use a bandana for, and also cordage. What's going to be your cordage to keep things together? Gorilla tape. repair your tarp, repair your clothing, use it for first aid, and last but not least, a canvas needle. You can use bank line to sew your clothes, to sew your tarp. Many, many reasons. So guys, memorize the 10 C's and pick what you need from there. In my case, I want to practice as much as I can. I'm going to take nothing more than 20% of my body weight. So guys, it's been fun. I hope this has been beneficial to you. So now you have an idea of what's all that stuff that the Virginia Bushcrafter carries. He could carry less, he could carry more. It's all about having fun. So with that said, guys, like father and son, mother and daughter, human in nature, we're all akin in some form or fashion. So just get out in the bush and have some fun. This is the Virginia Bushcrafter signing off. Stay safe everyone, and I'll see you in the bush.